scores the first run of the ball game on the stolen base by Harris, and then the error on the catcher, Colton Tackett. 1-0 the count on Vaughn. So the next pitch is delivered outside once again. 2 balls and no strikes. So that's what you call manufacturing a run. A walk, moves to second on the sacrifice, to third on the steal, and home on the error. Next pitch is right down the middle as the count goes to 2-1. Corey right now in about as hot a streak as a batter can get. This next pitch is outside. Well, they must have called that one pitch a strike, or a ball, rather. Okay. So a runner on first with 1 out for Cameron White.
Now batting number 16, Cameron White.
White on the mound today. First pitch is a fly ball into center field, chasing after it, Box near the fence, and it's going to hit the fence on a hop as Box and the right fielder Plank almost ran into each other. And heading on in to second base is White with the double, his 6th double of the year. So runners now on second and third as Corey Vaughn made it all the way over to third. Had to kind of hold up a little bit to make sure the ball wasn't going to be caught. Now Malachi Feeback to the plate.
Batting number 24, Malachi Feeback.
Feeback batting .258 on the year. A couple of doubles, 5 home runs, which leads the team, and 19 RBIs, which is third most. Infield moves about halfway in. And the first pitch to Malachi is going to be a pop-up into shallow right. Standing there waiting on it is Plank, and it's over his head as he misjudged it. Tagging at third and coming on home will be Corey Vaughn on the RBI base hit by Malachi Feeback as Harrison County goes up 2-0. Yeah, it looked like Plank at first was going to have it, but then as the ball dropped, it dropped about a couple of feet behind him. But we'll take it.
Now batting number 36, Mason Smiley.
Mason Smiley to the plate now with runners on the corners. Still just 1 out in the inning as the first pitch is outside. Here goes Malachi sliding into second. There will not be a throw. Malachi, that was a pretty ugly slide. 1-0 the count to Smiley. Mason on the year batting .368. 8 doubles, a homer, and 17 ribbies. Pitch is sent deep to center field. Box there waiting on it, though, as he makes the grab. Tagging at third base will be White, and he'll trot on in to score run number 3 on the RBI by Smiley. For Mason, his 18th RBI. For Cameron White, his 17th run scored. So with a lead now of 3-0, J.D. Kendall will come to the plate. Kendall, the designated hitter, batting for Bodie Muth, who's behind the plate defensively. First pitch to him is low and outside, gets past the catcher, and that will allow Feeback to move on down to third base on the wild pitch. So another run now just 90 feet away. Kendall on the air batting .288. Has a couple of doubles and a triple and 10 RBIs. Cole winds and fires the next pitch down low. His count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. So we mentioned the first of 2 games tonight here at the field in the Harris Memorial Hospital, Hometown Pharmacy McDonald's Invitational. Here's a shot into right field just beyond the outstretched glove of the second baseman Collins. So the Breds lead grows to 4-0 on the RBI base hit by Kendall. They'll bring Braxton Grubb to the plate.
Now batting number 9, Braxton Grubb.
Grubb, the right fielder, with White on the mound. First pitch to him is going to be popped up, fouling out of play to the left side for strike 1. Braxton on the season, batting .212 at 7 of 33. Does have a double, a home run, and 8 RBIs, though. Over at first, Xavier Prater holding J.D. Kendall on. Cole's next pitch is going to be inside. Count evens up at 1-1. Harrison County 18-8 on the year, a modest 2-game winning streak. Meanwhile, Lewis County, they're 9-13. They've lost 3 in a row. Here goes Kendall as the next pitch is fouled off, running the count to 1-2. JD will trot on back to first base as a new baseball is delivered to the mound to Cole by the home plate umpire. 4 runs in the inning for the Thoroughbreds on just 3 base hits, taking advantage of a couple of walks given up by Cole. Next pitch to Grubb is up high. Here's a throw down to second, but sliding in time is going to be Kendall. So a steal by JD puts another runner in scoring position for the Breds and a 2-2 count on Grubb. Grubb 3 for 9 this year with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Cole looks back at second, now throws a lazy ball back there that's dropped by the second baseman Collins, but didn't roll near far enough away for JD to advance. Now shortstop Ferguson trying to keep Kendall close. As Tackett flashed the sign, and the break even is fouled straight over us. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sun behind the clouds now, which probably will be the way it'll be for most of the rest of the game. There are breaks in the clouds here and there. Good crowd on hand for tonight's McDonald's Invitational. Next pitch to Grubb is slammed down the left side, but this ball is going to be foul. He hit it a ton, but it looked like it was curving as soon as it came off the bat. But still, a hard hit ball that Braxton just needs to straighten out a little bit. Grubb got a home run against Rockcastle County a couple of weeks ago. From the stretch, Cole, a look back at second. And the 2-2 once again is outside, loading up the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Lewis County's brought over probably a dozen people to watch their Lions play here tonight. About an hour and 15 minutes away from Vanceburg. Payoff pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3, and that'll be the inning. But the Breds come up with 4 runs. They did it by way of 3 base hits. There was 1 error by Lewis County and 1 man left aboard. So as we head now to the top of the second-year score, Harrison County 4 and Lewis County nothing. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. All right, as we get back to action here on the Hilltop, the top of the second coming up, it'll be Colton Tackett, Xavier Prater, and Braden McGlone batting for Lewis County. That's their 5, 6, and 7 batters. White's pitch is going to be up high for ball 1. Let's see, Tackett on the year batting .333. Co-leader on the team in doubles with 8. He also has a triple and 16 runs scored. Next pitch is down low for ball 2. Colton Tackett, a junior. Also a basketball player on the Lions basketball team. In fact, there are 5 basketball players that play baseball. Here's a bouncer foul to the left side as the count goes to 2-1. Colton Tackett being one of those guys. a junior. Only 3 seniors on this very young Lewis County squad. Next pitch is a bouncer to the left side. Backhanded by Harris. His throw to first base. Short hops Corey Vaughn for an error. Well, they almost had him. First error of the ball game committed by the Breds. It's a runner on first for the second inning in a row with nobody out for the Lions as Xavier Prater comes to the plate. Prater, the first baseman. Over at first, Corey Vaughn will be holding Tackett on. So the first pitch is in the dirt for a ball. Nice stop by Bodie. See, Prater on the season, batting .229 on 11 of 48. Does have 7 doubles and has walked 16 times. Next pitch is a fly ball into center field. Lewis going back at the fence. This ball is going to be out of here. Home run for Xavier Prater. Cuts the Harrison County lead in half as the Lions have caught up to make it a 4-2 game. First home run of the season for Xavier Prater, and also only the 4th home run altogether by Lewis County this year. 2-run shot got up in that jet stream, and it carried it just over the outstretched glove of Jay Sean Lewis, who tried to keep the ball in play, but it was just beyond his outstretched glove, which he was reaching over the fence out near, well, basically between the scoreboard and the flagpole in left center field. Braden McGlone to the plate now, swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. McGlone playing left field. He's batting .207 this year on 12 of 58. Has a triple and 16 RBIs. This next pitch is taken for ball 1. McGlone choking up on the bat handle about a half an inch. So the next pitch is taken down low, running the count to 2-1. Lewis playing the batter slightly to pull. As the next pitch is delivered on the inside part of the plate for strike 2. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on McGlone, who wears the number 4 on the back of his jersey. White gets the sign from Muth. And the break even is outside and high as the count goes full at 3-2. Well, you've seen Jake from State Farm on TV. Now it's time to see Joe from State Farm in Cynthiana. Get a new quote by calling Joe Cochran at 234-3813. White from the stretch. The payoff is a fly ball into center field. Lewis is there and will make the grab for out number 1. Once again, the wind kept that ball going, and what looked on a normal day to be just a simple fly ball into shallow center field ends up taking Jay Sean back near the bank. Aiden Cole, the pitcher to the plate now. White's first pitch to him is swung on and missed for strike 1. Cole on the season is batting .296 on 8 of 27. Is yet to get an extra base hit, but does have 6 runs scored and 8 RBIs as the next pitch is taken for strike 2. 0-2 the count to Cole, who wears the number 12 on the back of his jersey, a freshman. And a team chock full of freshmen and sophomores. Next delivery is a bouncer past the mound. Charging hard and picking it up is McIlvain. His throw to first base is going to be past Vaughn for an error. Second error of the ball game committed by the Thoroughbreds. So a runner on first and one out for Connor Plank. Plank playing out in right field. Left-handed batter. Plank on the season, batting .385. On 10 of 26, has 3 doubles and 7 RBIs. First pitch to him is swung on and missed for strike 1. Plank, a sophomore, crowds the plate just a bit. Over at first base, Cole being held on by Corey Vaughn. A throw over there, but not in time. See here, Cole on the season has not yet stolen a base. So not a real big threat to run. I wouldn't think, especially against a lefty. Next pitch is down low, evening up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 4-2 your score. Harrison County up on Lewis County here in the top of the second. White from the stretch. The 1-1 to the plate is swung on and missed. A shoulder-high fastball that Plank couldn't keep off of as the count goes to 1-2. Nice pitch. Breds in action tomorrow in the first game at 10:30 against Newport Catholic as the next pitch is down low. They'll play again tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock against South Laurel. South Laurel, in between games, will play Newcath themselves. Break-even pitch is high and inside, and that'll load up the count at 3-2. Breds will be heading to Bryan Station on Monday to their fairly new field. Harrison County a 10-2 winner earlier this season over the Defenders. Next pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. That's our second Knupplaw strikeout of the game. So at 2 down, that runner's still at first. Back to the top of the order in Caden Box.
Now batting number 5, Caden Box.
Box singled his first time up, leading off the game, but never left first as the next 3 players were retired. Next week, we'll also celebrate senior night on Wednesday. So the pitch is down low, 4-1. 7 seniors will be honored at 5 o'clock. Then we'll start a doubleheader against Paris after those festivities are over. Then on Thursday, Nicholas County comes to town for a 5:15 start. Here's a pop fly into shallow left. Going after it is Harris. Calls everyone off and makes the grab for out number 3. But a couple of runs come across the plate for the Lions on the 2-run homer by Xavier Prater. That was the only base hit. Harrison County did commit 2 errors in the inning, and there was 1 man left aboard. As we head now to the bottom of the second, your score, Harrison County 4 and Lewis County 2. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, here in the bottom of the second inning, the Breds will be sending their 9-1-2 batters to the plate. Jay Sean Lewis, and then back to the top, and Elijah Harris and Cliffy McIlvain against Aiden Cole, who now has seen his team gotten back within 2 with that home run in the top half of the inning. Want to remind everyone that at Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, we believe small businesses are an important part of this state's homegrown success. It's yet another reason why Kentucky Farm Bureau loves Kentucky. Call Harrison County Farm Bureau tomorrow. Now, wait till Monday at 234-4514 and ask for Dustin or Amy. The wind and Cole's first pitch to Lewis is golfed foul and out of play to the left side for strike 1. Lewis on the season, now batting .338. 9 doubles, a team-leading 2 triples, and 13 RBIs. Jay Sean's also scored 24 runs. Next pitch is outside for a ball. That'll even things up at 1-1. The 18-8 Thoroughbreds against the 9-13 Lions. Next pitch is golfed foul again. couple of pitches low in the strike zone that were fouled out of play over the third base dugout by Lewis. This count goes to 1-2. Sophomore stands in there as Cole gets the sign from Tackett. Wheels and fires the 1-2 to Lewis, and it's going to be swung on and missed, a pitch that appeared to be out of the strike zone for strike 3. 2 strikeouts now for Cole. In fact, they've come now in back-to-back batters as Grubb ended the first by striking out. Elijah Harris, the plate, he walked and later came around to score the first run of the game back in the first inning.
Now batting, number 33, Elijah Harris.
Harris stands in against Cole. First delivery to him is going to be sent into center field. Center fielder box goes over to his left about 15 paces and makes the grab for out number 2. So a 2 up and 2 down. Cliffy McIlvain will return to the plate. Cliffy had a sacrifice bunt when he came to bat before. A nice one, in fact.
Now batting, number 25, Cliffy McIlvain.
The wind by Cole and the pitch to the plate is going to be outside for ball 1. Well, the Phillies 18-6 on the year after losing back on last night here at home to Great Crossing 7-1. They had lost the night before last at Lafayette 3-1. This next pitch is taken for ball 2 by McIlvain. Cole working quickly. The 2-0 to the plate is going to be at the knees for a strike. Phillies were supposed to have played a doubleheader tonight up at Rowell, but that was canceled because of field conditions. Next pitch is up high for ball 3 to McIlvain. Yeah, those losses to Lafayette and Great Crossing, the first back-to-back losses of the season for the Phillies. 3-1 pitch is sent into center field, coming on hard, the center fielder box, but he will not be able to come up with the grab as the dying quail died a little too fast for him. So a 2-out single by McIlvain keeps the inning alive for Corey Vaughn.
Now batting, number 44, Corey Vaughn.
Vaughn walked and scored his first time up. Big lead at first base by McIlvain. Here he goes. The pitch is outside. The throw down to second base won't be near in time. So for Cliffy, his 12th stolen base of the season. Puts him into scoring position with a count of 1 ball and no strikes on Vaughn. Next pitch is going to be down low for ball 2. Scoots past the catcher, Tackett. And on that wild pitch, down to third base will go McIlvain. Corey on the season with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, batting .286. Next pitch is slammed into left center field and will go all the way to the fence. Scoring easily is McIlvain. Vaughn trucking on into second base standing with his 9th double of the season as he picks up his team-leading 33rd run batted in. As Harrison County's lead grows now to 5-2. Double.
Now batting, number 16,
Left center and an
Cameron
RBI.
White.
Cameron White to the plate now. He doubled and scored himself back in the first. Cole's first pitch is on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. By doubling his last time up, Cameron has reached base in 13 straight games. Tackett flashed the sign to the mound. A look back at second by Cole. Now he'll step off the back of the rubber to chase White back. White batting .429 this season with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Been consistently good all year long. So the next pitch is down low, evening up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Cole giving up 4 runs in the first and another one here in the second, giving the Breds a 5-2 lead. And the next pitch is outside. Nice block by Tackett to keep the ball in front of him. However, the count does go to 2-1 on White. White wheels the bat around as shortstop Ferguson trying to keep the runner Vaughn close at second. And the pitch to the plate is going to stay up high for ball 3. 3-1 the count to the Breds pitcher. Trying to help himself out here if he can get a base hit, or a walk will do just as well, depending on where Cole throws it. And the 3-1 pitch is outside ball 4. So 3 straight thoroughbreds have reached base as Malachi Feeback comes back to the plate. Feeback had a run-scoring single back in the first. He also scored a run. And with that base hit, Malachi has now gotten a hit in 7 straight games. Took him a while to break out of what was a season-beginning slump, but since he's found his groove, he's been hitting the ball and hitting it hard and hitting it to where ain't no people left. There's a shot down the left side, but foul for strike 1. Talking about the Phillies, tomorrow they'll be up at Dixie Heights for a doubleheader. They'll take on the Lady Colonels at 11 o'clock, and then after that at 1 o'clock, still at Dixie, they'll take on a team from St. Leon East Central, which is in Indiana. Look back at second base by Cole, and the pitch is going to be down low as the count goes to 1-1 on Feeback. On Monday, the Phillies will return home to take on always solid Madison Central. That'll be a 6 o'clock start down at Shirley Field. They'll also be on YouTube. This next pitch is outside. Count goes to 2-1. Ed Lewis will bring you all the action on WCYN2 on that game against the Lady Indians of Madison Central on Monday at 6. Then the Phillies will be on the radio on Tuesday as they'll travel to Campbell County for a 6 o'clock start. A look back at second, but no throw made by Cole. Count remains 2-1 on the batter, Malachi Feeback. Phillies also in action at Brossard on Thursday. That'll start at 5:30, so busy week for the Phillies. Going on down to third base with the steal will be Corey Vaughn, as I think that Cole might have forgotten about him a little bit. Count goes to 3 balls and a strike for Corey. That is his 13th stolen base of the year. Now going down to second base will be Blake Green, who is in there running for Cameron White. There will not be a throw, obviously, because it was ball 4. So the bases are loaded with thoroughbreds with 2 outs, and Mason Smiley at the plate.
Mason Smiley.
Smiley, a sacrifice fly, driving in a run in the first. First delivery to him is going to be outside and low for ball 1. Let's see, on the season, Smiley 0 for 3 with the bases loaded, so he's due. Wheels the bat around. The wind and the pitch from Cole is going to be on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Evens things up at 1-1. Smiley batting .400 though, with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this season. Next pitch is going to be inside. Had him spinning out of the way of it. This count goes 2-1. Breds a run already in the inning. A couple of walks as well. Cole working more quickly. The 2-1 is swung on and missed. This count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. McIlvain, I make that Corey Vaughn at third. Blake Green at second, Feeback at first. The wind and the break-even pitch to Smiley is poked foul over the first base dugout. So the count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mason. Smiley, a junior, wears the number 36 on the back of his uniform. And awaits the next pitch. And once again, the 2-2 is a bouncer in the hole between short and third. 1 run scores. Now holding up at third base will be Blake Green, as coming in quickly was the left fielder McGlone. But another run scores on an RBI base hit by Mason Smiley. His first base hit with the bases loaded this year makes the score 6-2. Harrison County with the lead. So S and 3.
Now batting number 10, J.D. Kendall.
J.D. Kendall to the plate now. He drove in a run with a base hit to right field. His only other time to the plate. First pitch here is taken at the knees for strike 1. Kendall on the season 1 for 3 with the bases loaded. The wind and the 0-1 to the plate is fouled off the press box. This count goes to 0-2. 5 consecutive thoroughbreds have reached base after the first 2 were retired in the inning. We've done a lot of that here lately, getting a lot of 2-out runs scored. From the windup, the 0-2 to Kendall is a bouncer to the left side, scooped up by the third baseman, Reese Bentley. He'll flip it on to Andrew Collins, covering second base for out number 3. But the Breds do come up with a couple of runs in the inning. They did it by getting 3 base hits. There were no errors, and the bases were left loaded. So as we head now to the top of the third, your score, Harrison County 6 and Lewis County 2. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Top 2 innings are in the books now, and Harrison County leads by 4, 6-2. It'll be the numbers 2, 3, and 4 batters in the lineup. Andrew Collins, Kyron Ferguson, and Reese Bentley. Going up against Cameron White, he'll be starting his third inning of work, the starter for the Thoroughbreds. First pitch is going to be a pop-up on the right side of the infield, calling for it Corey Vaughn, and he'll make the catch in between the mound and the first base bag. So 1 pitch, 1 up and 1 down here in the Lewis County third.
Number 15, Kyron Ferguson.
Kyron Ferguson to the plate now. He had a fly ball out to center field when he came to bat before. Ferguson, a sophomore, stands in there. And White's first pitch to him is going to be up high for ball 1. Well, do you have a big group to feed? You can't beat the deal on a Beast Pizza from Snappy Tomato. Call 235-7627 right now. And I mean right now. That's 235.
Snap.
Good job, y'all. You're getting better and better as the season goes along. Next pitch is going to be up high. This count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Ferguson wears the number 15 on the back of his jersey. Left fielder Lewis playing him to pull. Next pitch is swung on and missed as White pulled the string on that pitch. And Ferguson was way out in front of it as the count goes to 2-1. Ferguson awaits the next delivery to him from White, who gets the sign from his catcher Muth. And the pitch is going to be a little bit outside. So run the count to 3-1. As we mentioned, this is only the third time that Harrison County and Lewis County have played each other, despite only being, like I said, an hour and 15 minutes apart. Series tied at 1, with the last game coming in 2014 and Harrison County winning that one. Ferguson sees the next pitch go outside for ball 4. That is the first walk issued by White today. They'll bring up the cleanup batter, Reese Bentley. Bentley popped up to short when he came to bat before. Over at first base, Corey Vaughn will be holding Ferguson on. First pitch is tipped foul for strike one. Bentley, a linebacker on the Lewis County football team. Him. That's what it says. Maybe there's a lot of fighting the dog. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, you know. About a step and a half lead at first base by Ferguson. And the pitch is swung on and missed for strike two. Nice fastball that time by White. Here's a throw to first, not in time. Well, the tennis team has one more match left in the regular season. That'll be next Thursday when they'll head to Maysville to take on Mason County. Next pitch is just a bit outside for the count of 1-2. Sun trying to get out from behind the clouds, but unsuccessfully so. So the wind still blowing out towards right center field. And the next pitch is up high. That'll even up the count at 2-2. The field in really nice condition. Didn't get near as much rain as was anticipated. That is why we're able to be here tonight with you. Throw to first base, not in time at the first of the week, even down to Tuesday. And even suspected on Wednesday that there would be rain all day today. Kind of sprinkled in the morning, but nothing this afternoon. Break-even pitch is up high, loading up the count at 3-2. So after falling behind the count, no balls and 2 strikes, Bentley has worked the count back to full. Ferguson, who drew a 1-out walk, takes his lead at first. Now time is called. Now stepping back in is the senior Bentley. Choking up on the bat handle, swings and misses at the next delivery for strike 3. Another Knuplau strikeout delivered by White. He has 3 now, 1 in each inning. So with 2 outs now, and that runner still at first, the catcher Colton Tackett comes back to the plate. Tackett reached on air, later came home to score on the Prater home run. First pitch is going to drop in there for strike 1. Roundhouse curveball that time by White that found its way across the outside part of the plate to the right-hander from the left-handed wielding White. A look at first, and the 0-1 pitch is going to be smacked foul. This count goes no balls and 2 strikes. Saw the tennis team out practicing as I got here to the ballpark today. So Coach Markley making sure that his kids are ready for the district, which will be week after next. Or they might go straight to region. Not sure. I'll find out. From the stretch, White. The 0-2 pitch is outside. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looks like Mason Smiley at third having a conversation with the third base coach. As White goes into his stretch. And the 1-2 pitch is outside again. So we've seen this movie before. Reese Bentley got an 0-2 count on him, eventually walked. Now Tackett started out 0-2 and now has worked the count to even. Break-even pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3, and that will be the inning. Another Knuplau strikeout. That makes 4 on the day for Cameron White. No runs, no hits, no errors. There was 1 man left on base. We're heading now to the bottom of the 3rd with your score. Harrison County 6 and Lewis County 2. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports.
Van Hook
Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, we're heading to the bottom half of the third inning. Harrison County scoring 4 in the first and 2 more in the second to get their 6 runs to lead 6-2. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 batters coming up. Braxton Grubb, Jay Sean Lewis, and Elijah Harris. Canup Law understands that your situation is more than just a lawsuit or legal problem. It's your life. Visit canuplaw.com to find out how Brian can help you out. Grubb, a strikeout victim his first time up.
Now batting number 9, Braxton Grubb.
Stand there and try to get a base hit here. First pitch is on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Cole gets the sign from his catcher Tackett, and the next pitch to Braxton is going to be a bit high for ball 1. Let's see, the track team tomorrow will be in action in Moorhead as they'll take on Rowan County and other schools in the meet. Next pitch to Grubb is fouled off, running the count to 1-2. Then on Tuesday, our track team will come home and host not an invitational, but a get-together where several teams will join us. Next pitch is tip foul and into the mitt of the catcher Tackett for strike 3. So 1 up and 1 down in the home third brings Jay Sean Lewis back to the plate. Lewis struck out when he came to bat before.
Now batting number 3, Jay Sean Lewis.
First pitch to Lewis from Cole is going to be outside for a ball. One thing Cole had better do is wait till his outfielders get set. They were still on the move when he was throwing the pitch to Lewis. Next delivery is in the dirt. Count goes 2 balls and no strikes. Back in the batter's box once again, the sophomore Jay Sean Lewis. And the 2-0 is a ground ball to the right side, fielded by the first baseman Prater. He'll dive, but be unable to get to the bag as Lewis outraced everybody. Slow reaction time that time by both the second baseman and the pitcher. I don't know if they each were thinking the other was going to cover, but when Prater was unable to get back to the first base bag in time, he had nobody to toss the ball to. So an infield single for Lewis takes us back to the top of the order, and Elijah Harris.
Now batting number 33, Elijah Harris.
Harris walked and scored back in the first. He's also had a fly ball out to center field. Over at first, Prater holding the runner on as the first pitch is low and outside for ball 1. Breds will play tomorrow at 10:30 against Newport Central Catholic as the pitch is taken for a strike. Down to second will go Lewis, and he's in there safely. So for Jay Sean, that is his 14th stolen base of the season in 14 chances. This count goes 1-1 on Harris. Check back at second base, and the pitch is low and inside for ball 2. Breds will then play at 4 o'clock tomorrow against South Laurel. Harris waggling the bat over his right shoulder. The pitch is going to be outside. Gets past the catcher, but not far enough away for Lewis to advance. So he'll stay at second as the count goes to 3-1 on Harris. Both the shortstop Ferguson and the second baseman Collins right on top of Lewis down at second base, trying to keep him close to the bag. A look at back at second by Cole, and the pitch is way outside. Now down to second or third base goes Lewis, and he's going to be tagged out. Oh, they called him safe? Ah. So give Lewis another steal. And Harris the walk as Cliffy McIlvain will come to the plate with runners on the corners and 1 out.
Now batting number 25, Cliffy McIlvain.
McIlvain had a sacrifice bunt in the first, singled and scored in the second. First pitch to him this time is down low, now going down or halfway down to second base was Harris, and trying to induce a throw from the second baseman Collins, but Collins is not going to be suckered into it and just holds on to the ball with Harris returning back to first. 1-0 the count on McElvain. Cliffy trying to get a base hit here. Now once again down to second base will go Harris, and there's no throw. Now there will be a throw down to third. Pops out of the third baseman's glove, but not far enough away. But Harris picks up the stolen base and puts runners at second and third with one out for McElvain. Count 2 balls and no strikes on Cliffy. McElvain batting .435 this season with runners in scoring position. Cues this one foul to the right side. This count goes to 2-1. Number 25 steps back in there. Tackett flashes the sign to his battery mate. And the 2-1 pitch is a bouncer to third. Gloved by the third baseman Bentley. His throw to first base is in time to retire McElvain. However, on the play, Lewis comes home. The Breds have now scored in every inning as they have taken a 7-2 lead here in the bottom half of the third inning. Give McElvain the RBI. That is RBI number 14 on the season. Corey Vaughn at the plate. He's walked and doubled, scored twice and driven in and run. So the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Corey looking to get a base hit here. He's had 10 multiple hit games in his last 12. Pitch is going to be sent into left field to McGlone, who makes the grab for out number 3. But another run comes across the plate for the Thoroughbreds. They did it by getting one base hit. There was nobody. I'll try it again. No errors and one man left on base. So we head to the top of the fourth. Your score remains Harrison County 7 and Lewis County 2. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Harrison County adds on a run in the bottom of the third to increase their lead back to 5 runs at 7-2. Here in the top of the fourth, it'll be Xavier Prater, Braden McGlone, and Aiden Cole coming to the plate for the Lions. Lewis County's numbers through the first 3 showed 2 runs on 2 hits. They've had 1 error and left 3 runners stranded. Meanwhile, the Thoroughbreds, 7 runs on 7 hits. They've committed a couple of miscues and left 5 aboard. Prater had that 2-run homer over the left center field fence his first time up, his first home run of the season.
Number 35, Xavier Prater.
Prater, a junior basketball player. White takes a long look into Muth to get the sign. And the first pitch is going to drop in there for strike 1. Prater's homer, a 2-run shot. The only 2 runs that Lewis County has scored so far through the first 3. Next pitch is way high and outside. This count goes even at 1-1. Farm Credit Mid-America offers short-term loans that handle the present so you can focus on the future. Contact Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 and learn more about it. Cameron's next pitch is sent into right field. Grubb is there. Nope, that's not Grubb anymore. As Corey Vaughn makes the catch. for out number 1. Let's make that
Now
change.
batting number 4, Braden McGlone.
Braden McGlone at the plate. Eli Phelps has taken over at first base defensively. McGlone, a fly ball out to center field when he came to bat before. Next pitch is going to be a bit outside for a ball. See, that is the 58th pitch that White has thrown in the game through the first 3 1/3. Not bad, pitch count wise. Next pitch is in the dirt. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Breds back in action for 2 more games tomorrow as the next pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. We'll get things started at 10:30 in the morning. And we'll take on Newport Central Catholic. After that, South Laurel will take on Newcath, and then the Breds will finish up things at around 4 o'clock against South Laurel. Next pitch taken for ball 3. 3-1 now, the count to McGlone. McGlone, a wide receiver on the football team, had 109 tackles, which is most on the team. Next pitch is fouled out of play. Ran the count full at 3-2. And as is the case with 4 of his teammates, McGlone plays basketball as well. Short conversation near the mound between the battery of White and Muth. Now we'll get back to play with a 3-2 count on McGlone. 1 out, nobody on for Lewis County as the lights have been turned on here on the hilltop. And the payoff is inside ball 4. That is the second walk issued in the ball game by White. So with 1 on and 1 out, Aiden Cole comes to the plate. Cole, the pitcher, reached on air back in the second inning. Phelps will hold McGlone on. McGlone with 8 steals this season, but unlikely to run his team down by 5 as the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Reds and A's play tonight. First of a 3-game series. From the stretch, check of the runner, and the pitch to the plate is swung on and missed. Cole stepping in the bucket that time as he missed that pitch. Count goes 1-1 on him. Freshman chokes up on the bat handle about a 1/4 inch. And the delivery is tip foul into the mid of Muth. Aiden Cole finds himself in the hole 1-2. Very short lead at first base by McGlone, who reached on a walk. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. A high fastball that Mr. Cole couldn't stay off of. Another Knupplaw strikeout for Cameron White. That makes 5 on the game for him. Connor Plank returns to the plate. He was a strikeout victim himself. Mr. Plank covered from head to toe in some type of uniform. So first pitch is delivered up high for a ball. Wears the number 1 on the back of his jersey. Now the right fielder stands back in as White takes a look at the runner at first. And the pitch is going to be high once again. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Outfield playing the 9th batter in the batting order rather shallow. Plank does have 3 doubles though. Next pitch is low and outside. 3-0 the count. After Plank will go back to the top of the order and Caden Box. Wandering away from the first base bag is McGlone. Phelps still holding him on. And the 3-0 taken all the way by Plank, and it comes across the plate for a strike. Talk about the Batcats a little bit later. And their big series this weekend. 3-1 pitch is outside. Oh, on the outside corner for strike 2. I think Mr. Home Plate Umpire might have missed that one. However, the count goes full. And the payoff to the plate is on the outside corner for strike 3. Another Knupplaw strikeout by Cameron White, his 6th of the game. No runs, no hits, no errors. There was 1 man left on base. We're heading now to the bottom of the 4th with your score. Harrison County 7 and Lewis County 2. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop. Bottom of the 4th coming up. The Breds will be sending the middle third of the order. Cameron White, Malachi Feedback, and Mason Smiley up against Aiden Cole, the pitcher for the Lions, who began this game and has given up the 7 runs that appear on the scoreboard on the Reds side of the ledger. Cameron White has doubled and walked. He's also scored a run here in the ball game. As we mentioned before, he has now reached base in 13 consecutive ball games. White awaits the home plate umpire
batting, number 16,
get ready.
Cameron White.
As Coach Whitaker makes his way down to the third base coach's box. The wind and the first pitch is going to be on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Cole has not pitched exceptionally bad, just that Harrison County's been making contact. Next pitch is going to be inside as the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. White awaiting the 1-1 pitch from Cole, who winds and fires it towards the plate, and it's going to be up high for ball 2. Talking about the Batcats this weekend, taking on 5th-ranked Vanderbilt down in Nashville. Tonight they get started at 7. It's about 10 minutes from now as the next pitch will hit White in the back of the leg. So White gets the free pass to first. It's only the 3rd time this season that Cameron's been hit by a pitch. But he has now reached base in all 3 plate appearances. As Malachi Feedback comes to the plate.
Now batting, number 24, Malachi Feedback.
Feedback had an RBI single back in the 1st and later came around to score. Now smashes one to center field, going back, box at the fence, it's gone! Home run for Malachi Feedback, a 2-run shot. His team leading 6th of the season and his 3rd in the last 4 ball games. Boy, when Malachi decided to heat up, he heated up fast. That shot got up a little bit to the jet stream and carried it over the fence by a good 15 feet. Breds lead now grows to 9-2. Second and 3rd RBIs of the ball game for Malachi as well.
Now batting, number 36, Mason Smiley.
Smiley at the plate now. He's had a couple of RBIs, one on a sac fly, one on a single. Now he'll send one into left field for a base hit. So the first 3 batters have reached here in the bottom of the 4th for the Breds as they've grown their lead to 7 runs. Now it looks like Bodie Booth is going to bat for himself. So Booth batting for Kendall basically here in the 4th inning.
Now batting, number 37, Bodie Moose.
Bodie awaits the first pitch. It's going to be taken inside for ball 1. Muth on the season batting .400 on 6 out of 15. has a double and 3 RBIs and 4 runs scored. So has made the most of his limited at-bats this season. His next pitch is low and inside, 4-2. Muth, one of the 7 seniors that'll be honored next week. Short lead at first base by Smiley. As the pitch comes to the plate and is in the dirt and will get past the catcher Tackett for a wild pitch. So a runner in scoring position now for Bodie. Number 37 getting the start behind the plate today. Stands back in there. Look back at second base by Cole. And taking all the way on the 3-0 pitch is Muth. The ball is behind him, actually. And he'll get the free ride down to first base. As Eli Phelps will bat in Grubb's place. But first, we may have a pitching change. Coach for Lewis County, make that Sammy Holder going out to the mound. Right now having a discussion with his battery and infield. But mostly to the pitcher, Aiden Cole. Field umpire standing by in case something needs to be communicated. Home plate umpire just standing there on the first base line as the meeting finishes up. And everybody will stay in the game. We'll see. You've seen Jake from State Farm on TV. Now it's time to see Joe from State Farm in Cynthiana. Get a new quote by calling Joe Cochran at 234-3813.
Now batting number 41, Eli Phelps.
Phelps at the plate, batting .429 this year on 6 out of 14, has a double and 4 RBIs. First pitch to him is laced into the glove of the shortstop Ferguson, who had to really reach out and made a nice grab at it, actually, as he was heading towards the cut of the outfield dirt and grass for the first out of the inning, making that catch on that soft line drive. Jay-Sean Lewis back to the plate. He singled, stole second and third, and then came home with a run in the third inning. First pitch is fouled off to the right side for strike one. With that base hit, back in the third, Lewis extends his hitting streak, or actually getting on base streak, to 8 games in a row. So a lot of thoroughbred players making good offensive numbers as the next pitch is fouled off. The count goes to 0-2. Lewis stands in with runners at first and second. He's batting .310 this year with runners in scoring position. A look back at second, and the 0-2 is slammed into right field for a base hit. Rounding third and coming home is Smiley. The throw to the plate is going to be dropped by the catcher, allowing Smiley to slide in safely as the Breds score their third run of the inning to take what is now a 10-2 lead. Also on the play, Booth moves to third base. They give Lewis his first RBI of the game. So with runners on the corners, we'll go back to the top of the order and Elijah Harris.
33, Elijah Harris.
It's 10. Yeah, Malachi's home run was a 2-run homer. First pitch taken outside for ball one. Elijah's walked twice, scored a run, has a couple of stolen bases. Just another ordinary average Elijah Harris day. Next pitch is going to be popped up down the right field line. Right fielder Plank rushing after it, and he cannot make the grab. So it's going to drop in there. Coming home to score will be Bryson Tucker, who is running for Muth, as Harrison County's lead now grows to 11-2. We'll have to give that one an error, as Plank got to the spot in plenty of time, just didn't close the glove on the ball. That's the second error of the ball game committed by the Lewis County defense, and brings Cliffy McIlvain back to the plate. Cliffy had a sacrifice bunt in the first, singled and scored in the second, and then an RBI ground out in the third. Now Boston Reynolds will be at first base to run for Harris. And now we'll also have a pinch hitter come in for Cliffy. It looks like Brian Vaughn is getting ready, so Brian Vaughn batting in McIlvain's spot. So let's pencil Brian in here. Let's see, Brian Vaughn on the year is batting .267, has a double, a homer, and 11 RBIs. Well, do you have a big group to feed? You can't beat the deal on a Beast Pizza from Snappy Tomato. Call 235-7627 right now. That's 235.
Snap.
Ah, that wasn't as good as the first one. You all weren't together. Getting lazy on me. We'll have a courtesy runner down at second base as well, as Sean Vaughn will be running. And the pitch to Brian Vaughn is slapped in the hole between short and third. Coming up with the baseball is McGlone. Sean Vaughn will hold on at third base, but with one out, and the Breds already leading 11-2. The bases are loaded with thoroughbreds. And it looks like we'll have a pinch hitter for Corey Vaughn as well. Nope, we're going to keep Corey in there. He's walked, doubled, and had a fly ball out to left. Scored a couple of runs. He's also driven in a run. First pitch to him is way inside for ball one. Corey on the season is 2 for 3 with the bases loaded. Boston Reynolds takes his lead from second, as does Brian Vaughn from first, as the next pitch to Corey is lowered inside for ball two. At Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, we believe small businesses are an important part of the state's homegrown success. It's yet another reason why Kentucky Farm Bureau loves Kentucky. Pitch is low for ball three. Call Harrison County Farm Bureau on Monday at 234-4514 and ask for Dustin or Amy. Vaughn steps back in as Cole pitches from the windup, and the pitch is going to be outside for ball four. Another run comes home for the Thoroughbreds in the inning. That makes 5 altogether, and the lead grows to 12-2. Now looks like we may have a pitching change. Let's see. Going to give the ball to number 10, who is Hunter Bivens. So while Bivens takes his warm-up tosses, your situation is this. We are in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Harrison County has already plated 5 runs. The bases are loaded with just 1 out. They lead by a total of 12-2. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, as we mentioned, going to the break, the new pitcher will be Hunter Bivens. Bivens coming in relief of Aiden Cole, making his second appearance of the year. In his first appearance, he pitched in relief, threw 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, did not walk a batter, did not strike out a batter, but did give up 2 earned runs, so he has an ERA of 14.00. Pinch hitter for Harrison County, the Jacob Craycraft, who wears the number 18. On the year, Craycraft is batting .000 as he is 0 for 2, but he has 4 RBIs. So Craycraft stands in.
Batting number 18, Jacob Craycraft.
Craycraft, the 10th batter of the inning for the Thoroughbreds. They've scored their 5 runs on just 4 hits. And the pitch is a bouncer in the hole between short and third. Reynolds comes home to score. Bases are still loaded with Thoroughbreds, but the RBI base hit by Jacob Craycraft has put Harrison County up by a score of 13-2. So give an RBI. That's his 5th RBI of the season. Chris Coy will now come to the plate and bat feedback spot
Now batting number 40.
here in the 4th. Give you Coy's numbers after this first delivery to him by the new pitcher Bivens. And the pitch is a pop fly down the left field line. McGlone looks like he's going to have a play on it. He does, tagging at third base. And nope. Brian Vaughn at first was tagging up, but then he decided to go back after the second out of the inning is recorded. Now coming to the plate, the other Jacob Craycraft, the one that wears the number 13, will come to the plate.
Now batting number 13, Jacob Craycraft.
Here in the 4th. This Jacob Craycraft comes into the ball game batting .389 on 7 of 18. Does not have an extra base hit, but does have 5 RBIs. First pitch to him here is up high for ball 1. Bases are still loaded with Thoroughbreds with 2 outs. Jacob is 2 for 3 this season with the bases loaded. So he's been here before, done that before, and let's see if he can do it again. Next pitch is cranked high and hard, deep left field, going back McGlone. He's going to have room, and he'll make the catch. No, he dropped it. He dropped it. Or did the umpire say he caught it before he dropped it and had enough time? He's going to say he had it in his glove enough time. But in the inning, 5 runs crossed the plate for the Thoroughbreds. They did it, make that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they did it on 5 base hits. There were no errors, and the bases were left loaded. As we head now to the top half of the 5th inning, your score, Harrison County 13 and Lewis County 2. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, we're heading to the top of the 5th inning, and there will be a new pitcher on the mound for Harrison County as Cooper Slade takes over for Cameron White, who pitched 4 very effective innings, gave up just 2 base hits, one of those the 2-run homer by Xavier Prater, but besides that, pitched pretty well, walked a couple of people, and struck out 6. This will be Slade's first pitching performance of the season. Other changes as I look out there, Boston Reynolds has taken over at shortstop. Jacob Craycraft, the one that wears the number 13, is at third base. Pencil him in there as well. And let's see, Blake Green is out in left field now. Him in Brian Vaughn is now at second base. So Brian Vaughn
Now
there.
batting number 5, Caden Box.
Top of the order coming up for Lewis County against Slade. Caden Box, Andrew Collins, and Kyron Ferguson. The Lions will have to score at least 2 runs to keep this game going. They trail 13-2 after that 6-run 4th inning by the Breds. Harrison County scores in every inning. First pitch is on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Nice pitch. Box has had a single and a pop up to short. One of only 2 hits given up by White today. Slade wheels and fires the next pitch. It's going to be taken at the knees for strike 2. That's right. Just go in there and throw strikes. You're up by 11. Challenge those guys. Box stands back in as Slade gets the sign from Keen Price, his catcher. And the 0-2 pitch is right across Main Street for strike 3. A 3-pitch strikeout on the very first ever varsity opponent that Cooper Slade faces. Can't hardly beat that.
Andrew Collins.
His first ever Canuck Law strikeout. Andrew Collins to the plate now. He struck out and had a pop up to first. Slade saying, yeah, I got this now. Gets the sign from Price. Wheels and fires the first pitch, and it's going to be taken at the strike. He's just come in there and throwing BBs. Lewis County's going to have to start swinging the bat every time. Lights starting to take effect here on the Hilltop baseball field. And the next pitch is a bouncer to the left side. Backhanded in the hole by Reynolds. His long throw to first base will not be in time. So an infield single. Gets a runner on. Only the 3rd base hit of the day for Lewis County. Kyron Ferguson will now come to the plate. Did neglect to inform you that Donovan Walker is in right field now. Kyron Ferguson, a fly out to center. He's also walked in the game. Phelps holding the runner on at first as the first pitch is delivered at the knees for strike 1. Farm Credit Mid-America offers short-term loans that handle the present so you can focus on the future. Contact Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 and learn more. Slade gets the sign from Price, takes a peek over to first base. And the next pitch is a little outside this time. Count goes even at 1-1. Well, the NFL draft has started. Let's cross our fingers and hope that Will Levis gets picked up soon. What a tough day, sitting in the green room all alone. Oh, well. The 1-1 to the pitch is slammed hard. Oh, my gosh. Going back and making the catch will be Blake Green right at the base of the bank for out number 2. So the Lions down to the last out, basically. Trailing 13-2 as Reese Bentley, the cleanup batter, will come to the plate. He's had a pop-up to short and a strikeout. Phelps will continue to hold Collins on at first. A look over there at him. Another glance. And the first pitch is going to be up high to Bentley for ball 1. Breds looking for their 3rd win in a row after defeating Pendleton County and Clark County earlier in the week. A look over to first base again, and the pitch is going to be popped up in the infield. Calling for it, Slade near the rubber and makes the grab for out number 3. An outstanding pitching performance by Cooper Slade in his first ever varsity appearance. Harrison County improves altogether to 19-8 on the year with this victory, while Lewis County will drop to 9-14, their 4th loss in a row. We invite you to stay tuned now for our post-game show. We'll go over all the scoring and stats, as well as have a chat with a member of the Harrison County coaching staff. We'll also name our Judy Construction Company player of the game, all that coming up after this timeout. But once again, your final score in 5 innings, Harrison County 15 and Lewis County 2. You've been listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports.